What if the greatest stability in your life after 60 doesn't come from those you love most, but from the foundation you build for yourself? What if true peace and freedom in your later years aren't guaranteed by family ties, but by the pillars you choose to stand on today? Imagine stepping into every new year with strength, clarity, and courage, not by relying on others, but by anchoring yourself to the unshakable pillars within your control. Welcome to a journey of real independence and resilience. It's time to discover the 5 pillars that will hold you steady when life around you keeps shifting. Once you turn 60, the only reliable support is not family, but these 5 pillars. What really matters in the end. Billy Graham. YouTube, you know, for most of our lives, we've been told that family is everything. That when we grow old, they'll be there standing beside us, holding our hands, making sure we're taken care of. It's a comforting thought, isn't it? The idea that no matter what happens, we'll have someone to lean on. But life has a way of teaching us hard truths. And one of the biggest lessons we come to understand as we age is that family, no matter how much they love us, isn't always the reliable support we expect. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying family doesn't care. I'm not saying they don't love us, but love and support are two different things. Love is a feeling, but support requires action. And as we cross into our 60s and beyond, we begin to see that the people we thought would always be there might not be able to provide that support the way we had hoped. Think about it. Our children, if we have them, are grown. They've got lives of their own, careers, families, responsibilities. They're juggling work, raising kids, trying to make ends meet, and somehow still finding time for themselves. As much as they may want to be there for us, their time and energy are limited. Not to mention many of them live in different cities, even different countries. The reality is their lives are moving forward, and we can't expect them to put everything on pause to take care of us. And what about our siblings, cousins, extended family? The truth is, they're aging right along with us. They have their own health concerns, their own struggles. Some of them may be dealing with financial hardship, or they may simply not have the capacity to be the support system we wish they could be. Even those we've been closest to all our lives, life has a way of pulling people in different directions. And then there's something else, something we don't often talk about, but need to face: loss. As we age, we start losing people. Parents, spouses, siblings, even friends. Some of the very people we thought we'd always have around may not be there when we need them most. It's a painful reality, but one we must acknowledge. So where does that leave us? If family isn't the guaranteed support we once believed, what do? We sit around feeling abandoned. Do we grow bitter, resenting the people we love for not being able to give us what we expected? No, we adjust, we prepare, we build the kind of support that doesn't depend on the ever-changing circumstances of others. That's where the 5 pillars come in. These pillars: financial stability, health and wellness, a strong social network, purpose and passion, and adaptability, are what will hold us up when everything else shifts. These are the things we can actually control. These are the things that will truly support us as we age, no matter where life takes us. And let me tell you something. When you embrace these pillars, something changes. You stop feeling like you're waiting on someone else to take care of you. You stop feeling like a burden. Instead, you step into your later years with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you're standing on solid ground. So as we continue, I want you to keep this in mind. Family is a blessing, but it is not a retirement plan. It is not a guarantee, and it was never meant to be. Instead of hoping that others will be there to catch us when we fall, we build our own foundation. Because when we do that, we don't just survive these years. We thrive in them. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that nothing matters more than your health. Not money, not success, not even the people around you. Because without your health, you can't enjoy any of it. And yet, for most of our lives, we take it for granted. We push our bodies to the limit, ignore the warning signs, eat whatever's easy, and tell ourselves we'll deal with it later. Well, guess what? Later is here. The reality is, once you cross into your 60s, everything changes. You don't bounce back the way you used to. A little ache here, a little stiffness there. Suddenly, those small things become part of your everyday life. And if you don't take control of your health, now you're going to wake up one day and realize that your body has become a prison instead of a tool for living. Now I know what some people think. Well, my parents lived long without worrying about all this. Maybe they did. Maybe they got lucky. But the world we're living in today is different. Our food is different. Our stress levels are different. Our lifestyles are different. And if you want to live not just a long life, but a good life, one where you can move, travel, enjoy yourself, you've got to be intentional about your health. That starts with the basics. Move your body every single day. I don't care if it's a walk around the block, stretching in your living room, or dancing in your kitchen. Just move, because the minute you stop using your body, it starts breaking down. Your muscles weaken, your joints stiffen, and before you know it, the things you used to do effortlessly become impossible. And let me tell you something. Losing mobility is one of the quickest ways to start feeling old. You want to feel young, keep moving, then there's food. Now, I'm not saying you need to eat like a nutritionist every single day, but you need to start looking at food as fuel, not just comfort. What you put into your body directly affects how you feel. You eat processed junk all the time, and guess what? You're going to feel like junk. Your energy will crash, your inflammation will rise, and you'll be setting yourself up for all kinds of health issues. But when you start feeding your body what it actually needs, real whole foods, plenty of water, the right nutrients, you'll feel the difference almost immediately. Your energy goes up, your digestion improves, even your mood gets better. And speaking of mood, let's talk about stress. Because stress isn't just something that makes you feel anxious. It's something that can literally destroy your health. It raises your blood pressure, weakens your immune system, and eats away at your mental well-being. And unfortunately, as we get older, life doesn't necessarily get less stressful. If anything, the worries just shift. Financial concerns, health scares, loneliness. That's why managing stress isn't optional, it's essential. Maybe that means meditation. Maybe it means prayer. Maybe it just means learning how to let go of things you can't control. But whatever it is, you have to find a way to keep your stress in check, because if you don't, it will control you. And then, of course, there's sleep. You know, we spent our younger years thinking sleep was something we could cut corners on. Stay up late, wake up early, power through. But now, sleep is everything. It's how your body repairs itself. It's how your brain stays sharp. It's how you keep your immune system strong. You want to wake up feeling good instead of exhausted. Make sleep a priority. Now I know some of you might be thinking, well, it's too late for me. See, no, it's not. I don't care if you've spent decades neglecting your health. You can always make a change, and you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small. One healthier meal a day, one extra walk a week, 1 hour less of stress. The key is consistency, because the little things you do every day, those are the things that will determine your quality of life down the road. Here's the truth. If you don't take care of your health, you're going to be spending all your time and money trying to get it back. The doctors, the medications, the hospital visits, that's what's waiting for you if you ignore your health now. But if you take control, if you make your health a priority, you'll be giving yourself something priceless. The ability to live life on your own terms, to travel, to spend time with the people you love, to wake up every morning feeling strong and capable. Because at the end of the day, your health is not a luxury. It's not an afterthought. It is the foundation for everything else. And if you don't have that, nothing else matters. You know, as we get older, something interesting starts to happen. The world around us keeps moving forward, but sometimes we feel like we're standing still. The phone doesn't ring. As often, the invitations slow down. The people we used to see every day are busy with their own lives. And if we're not careful, we wake up one day and realize that our social circle has shrunk to almost nothing. Loneliness is one of the biggest dangers of aging, but nobody really talks about it. It sneaks up on you. One moment, you're surrounded by people, and the next, you're spending more time alone than you ever imagined. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how independent you've always been, or how much you enjoy your own company. We all need connection. We all need people in our lives who see us, who hear us, who remind us that we still matter. Now, some people think, well, I have my family, that's enough. And listen, if you have family who is actively involved in your life, that's a blessing. But as I said before, you can't rely on that alone. Your kids, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews, they love you, but they have their own lives, and if you're waiting around for them to fill the gaps in your social life, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You need to build relationships outside of family, because a strong social network isn't just about company. It's about survival. Do you know that social isolation is just as dangerous to your health as smoking? Studies have shown that people who don't have strong social connections are more likely to experience depression, heart disease, even a shorter lifespan. That's how powerful connection is. It's not just about feeling good, it's about staying alive and well. So how do we build that? How do we create a social circle that actually supports us? Well, first, you have to make the effort. Friendships don't happen by accident. You have to reach out. You have to show up. You have to invest in the relationships that matter. That might mean reconnecting with old friends, the ones you lost touch with over the years. It might mean making new friends, stepping outside your comfort zone, joining groups, attending events, putting yourself in situations where connection can happen. And listen, I know that's not always easy. Some of you are thinking, I'm too old to be making new friends. No, you're not. There are people out there in the exact same stage of life as you, looking for connection just like you are. But you have to be willing to take that first step. Strike up a conversation. Join that community group. Attend that class. Say yes when someone invites you somewhere. It's uncomfortable at first, but so is anything worth doing. Another important thing, find people who bring value to your life. Not just people to pass the time with, but people who uplift you, who challenge you, who make you laugh, who remind you of the joy in life. Because, let's be honest, not all relationships are good for us. Some people drain us, fill our conversations with negativity, make us feel worse instead of better. At this stage in life, you don't have time for that. Surround yourself with people who energize you, who encourage you, who make you feel alive. And here's something else. Don't just focus on what you can get from relationships. Focus on what you can give. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're feeling lonely is waiting for others to reach out. But relationships don't work that way. Be the one to send the text. Be the one to invite someone to coffee. Be the one to check in. Because when you give to others, you build bonds that actually last. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I try and it doesn't work? What if people don't respond? That's a real fear, and I won't pretend it's not possible. But you can't let that stop you. You keep trying. You keep putting yourself out there. You keep building the kind of relationships that will carry you through the years ahead. Because here's the truth. At this stage in life, the strength of your social network is just as important as the strength of your body. You need people. People who will check in on you. People who will laugh with you. People who will remind you that you're not alone in this world. And if you don't have that right now, start building it today. Because a strong social circle isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. You know, one of the biggest lies society tells us is that once we reach a certain age, our best years are behind us. That after retirement, after the kids are grown, after we've done all the things we were supposed to do, life just becomes about waiting for the holidays when family visits, waiting for the next doctor's appointment, waiting for time to pass. But let me tell you something. Life is not over just because you've hit 60, 70, or even 80. In fact, for some people, this is the first time in their entire lives that they get to truly live on their own terms. No job telling you where to be, no kids dictating your schedule, no obligations weighing you down. So the real question is, what are you going to do with this time? Because here's the thing, without purpose, without passion, life becomes empty. I've seen it happen too many times. People work their whole lives looking forward to retirement only to get there and realize they don't know what to do with themselves. The routine is gone. The sense of being needed is gone. And slowly they start fading. They sleep more. They move less. They stop caring about the things that once excited them. and before they know it, they feel like they're just existing instead of living. That's why finding a sense of purpose is one of the most important things you can do as you get older. Because purpose is what keeps you engaged. It's what keeps you waking up in the morning, excited for the day ahead, instead of just letting the days slip by. Now, purpose doesn't have to mean something grand. You don't have to start a new business or write a best-selling book unless you want to. Purpose can be simple. It can be a hobby you love. It can be volunteering at a local shelter or mentoring young people. It can be creating something, teaching something, or simply dedicating yourself to being the best version of yourself. The key is finding something that makes you feel alive, something that gives you a reason to look forward to tomorrow. And listen, I know some people think, well, I'm too old to start something new. Let me tell you right now, that is a lie. There is no expiration date on passion. I've seen people pick up painting in their 70s and become incredible artists. I've seen people start learning a new instrument in their 80s and bring joy to everyone around them. I've seen people begin new careers, new projects, even new relationships long after the world would have said their time was up. The only time your time is up is when you decide it is. You have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Take up that hobby you always said you'd get to. Someday, learn that skill you never had time for before. Because here's the truth. Someday is now. And if you don't fill your life with things that bring you joy, that challenge you, that make you feel useful, then you'll find yourself sitting around, wondering where the years went. And don't think passion has to be something big or flashy. Maybe your purpose is as simple as being a source of kindness in the world. Maybe it's helping the people around you, showing up for friends, being a listening ear when someone needs one. Maybe it's taking care of your garden, writing in a journal, or sharing your wisdom with younger generations. Purpose isn't about impressing anyone. It's about finding what makes your heart light up and doing more of it. Because when you have purpose, you have energy. You have something to look forward to. You stay sharp, you stay engaged, and you stay connected to life. People who have a strong sense of purpose don't just live longer, they live better. They are healthier, happier, more fulfilled. And that's what this stage of life should be about. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know what my purpose is anymore, then let me challenge you. Go find it. Try new things. Explore new interests. Give back in ways you never have before, because your life still has meaning. Your story isn't over. There is still so much left for you to do, to give, to experience. And when you find that thing that excites you, that thing that gives you a reason to wake up in the morning with a sense of anticipation, hold on to it, because that is what will keep you truly alive. One of the hardest things about getting older is realizing just how much the world keeps changing around you. Things you once did without thinking now take effort. People who were once constants in your life move away, drift apart, or are no longer here. The way the world operates, technology, communication, even society itself evolves so fast that it can feel overwhelming trying to keep up. And in moments like that, it's easy to feel like life is leaving you behind. But let me tell you something, change is not the enemy. The real danger isn't the world moving forward. The real danger is refusing to move forward with it. Because the people who thrive as they age aren't the ones who fight change. They're the ones who embrace it. They're the ones who understand that life is always shifting. And instead of resisting, they adapt. Now, adapting doesn't mean you have to like every change that comes your way. It doesn't mean you have to suddenly become a technology expert or start acting like a teenager. What it does mean is that you stay open. Open to learning. Open to trying new things. Open to finding new ways of doing what you've always done. Because the moment you decide you're too old to change, you start closing yourself off from life. Think about it. How many people do you know who got stuck in their ways and slowly faded into isolation? They refused to learn how to use a smartphone, so now they barely communicate with family. They refused to explore new activities, so their days became smaller and smaller. They refused to accept that the world was different from how it used to be, so they became bitter, spending their time complaining instead of enjoying the life they have left. That is not living, that is just waiting for time to run out. Now I know adapting isn't always easy. It takes effort to learn new skills, to step outside your comfort zone, to admit that maybe the way you've always done things isn't the only way. But what's the alternative to stay stuck, to let life pass you by? No. You weren't put on this earth to sit still. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to experience new things even now. So maybe that means learning how to use the latest technology so you can stay connected with your grandkids. Maybe it means making new friends because some of the old ones have drifted away. Maybe it means adjusting the way you take care of your body. Because what worked in your 30s doesn't work in your 60s. Whatever it is, the key is to keep moving forward, because the moment you stop adapting, the moment you stop learning, is the moment you start shrinking. And let's talk about self-reliance, because that goes hand in hand with adaptability. If there's one thing you need to understand as you age, it's this: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you a perfect life. If you want something, a better quality of life, stronger relationships, better health, more excitement, you have to take responsibility for making it happen. That means taking care of your own needs instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. That means staying informed so you're not left at the mercy of others when it comes to your finances, your health, or your well-being. That means making decisions that serve your future, not just your present comfort. Because, let's be honest, one of the biggest traps of aging is complacency. You get set in your ways. You stop pushing yourself. You start avoiding discomfort, and before you know it, you're just going through the motions, waiting for each day to end, instead of embracing each day as an opportunity. But that's not how you stay alive. That's how you let life slip through your fingers. So if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this: you are never too old to adapt. You are never too old to learn. You are never too old to take control of your own life. The world will keep changing. That's a guarantee. But the question is, will you change with it? Will you keep growing? Will you stay engaged? Will you keep challenging yourself? Because the people who do, they don't just live longer, they live better. And that is what truly matters. There comes a point in life when you start to realize just how little control you really have. You can plan, prepare, do everything right, and still life has a way of throwing curveballs you never saw coming. People you love get sick. Financial security gets shaken. Friends drift away. Your body doesn't work the way it used to. And no matter how much you try to hold everything together, there are moments when you feel like the ground beneath you is shifting, and you're just trying to find something solid to hold on to. And that's why more than anything else you need faith. Not just in a religious sense, though. That's important, if that's what you believe, but faith in something bigger than yourself. Faith in the fact that life still has meaning even when things don't go the way you plan. Faith that there is a purpose to your journey, even when it feels uncertain. Faith that no matter what happens, you are never truly alone. Because without faith, life becomes heavy. The burdens, the disappointments, the losses, they start to feel like too much to carry. And when you don't have something deeper to lean on, something that gives you strength beyond your own understanding, it's easy to fall into bitterness, resentment, or fear. But when you have faith, real faith, you can walk through life's toughest seasons with peace. Not because everything is perfect, but because you know that even in the imperfection, there is still purpose. Faith gives you perspective. It reminds you that just because a chapter is ending doesn't mean the story is over. It teaches you to let go of the things you can't control, to stop gripping so tightly onto the past, and to trust that whatever comes next, you will be okay. It's what allows you to face aging, not with fear, but with gratitude. Because every day you wake up is another day you've been given, another chance to experience love, joy, and purpose. And faith isn't just about belief. It's about action. It's about how you choose to live your life. Do you spend your time worrying about things you can't change, or do you focus on the things you can? Do you hold on to resentment and regret, or do you choose to forgive and move forward? Do you let fear keep you from trying new things, or do you trust that even if you fail, you will learn something valuable along the way? See, faith isn't just something you talk about. It's something you live. It's in the way you treat people, the way you handle challenges, the way you respond to the unexpected. It's in the way you choose hope over despair, gratitude over entitlement, trust over fear. And when you live that way, something incredible happens. Life stops feeling like something you're just trying to get through, and instead, it becomes something you embrace. Now, some people say, well, I've been through too much. Life has been too hard. I don't know if I can have that kind of faith. But let me tell you something. Faith isn't about never having doubts. It's not about pretending you have all the answers. It's about choosing every day to believe that there is still good in this world, that there is still something worth hoping for, something worth waiting up for. And maybe for you, faith looks like leaning into your spirituality, trusting in God, in the universe, in the divine plan for your life. Maybe it looks like reminding yourself, even on the hard days, that there is still beauty, still love, still purpose to be found. Maybe it looks like choosing to believe that the best days aren't behind you. They are still ahead. Because here's the truth. Life will keep moving, whether you're ready or not. The years will pass, change will come, and challenges will appear. But if you have faith, real unshakable faith, you'll be able to walk through it all with strength, with grace, with the deep, unbreakable belief that no matter what happens, you are exactly where you are meant to be. And that kind of faith changes everything. At the end of the day, life is not about what you've lost. It's about what you still have. It's not about the years behind you. It's about the moments still ahead. The truth is, once you turn 60, the only reliable support isn't just family. It's the foundation you build for yourself, the 5 pillars that hold you up when life shifts beneath your feet: your health, your social circle, your sense of purpose, your ability to adapt, and your faith. These are the things that will carry you forward. They will keep you strong, keep you engaged, and keep you living fully, instead of just existing, because life doesn't stop when you hit a certain age. It only stops when you decide to stop growing, stop learning, and stop believing in what's still possible. So hold on to these pillars, stand firm, and embrace every day with strength and purpose. Aging gracefully is not about avoiding change. It's about building a life so grounded in health, purpose, adaptability, connection, and faith that no storm can shake you. When you commit to strengthening these pillars, you don't just grow older, you grow wiser, stronger, and more fulfilled. Because true security doesn't come from hoping others will catch you. It comes from preparing your heart, your mind, and your life to rise no matter what. Start building now, because your best years are still ahead, and they are worth living fully.